people of the internet. Let's start there. The USDA ends program that helped schools serve food from local farmers. I'm somewhat interested. Why did they do that? There's a lot of things that's been happening as of late. It's just like, why did you guys do that? Do we not want our children to eat fresh food from local farmers? Let's get some insight from this. Of course, this comes from the Associated Press. USDA ends program that helped schools serve food from local farmers. The U.S. Agriculture Department is ending 2 pandemic-era programs that provided more than $1 billion for schools and food banks to purchase food from local farmers and producers. About $660 million of that went to schools and child care centers to buy foods for meals through the Local Foods and Schools program. A separate program provided money to the food banks. Interesting. Okay, so this was, after just hearing that, it was something that started during the pandemic. We are 5 years removed from the pandemic, so okay, that may be whatever. But why stop? I don't understand. So a little bit more. In Maine, it says the money allowed the coastal RSU 23 school district to buy food directly from fishermen, dairy producers, and farmers for school meals, said Caroline Trinder, the district's food and nutrition services director. She says here, quote, "I think everyone can say that they want kids at school to receive the healthiest meals possible," Trinder said. "It's the least processed, and we're helping our local economy. We're helping farmers that may be the parents of our students." If something's, we always hear the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do we not want our children to have healthy food? What is this notification? I don't understand. It's always about money. It sounds like a win-win for everybody. You have local farmers, right? Which is, of course, I guess, boost the economy in that area, of course, whatever the case is. So you got the farmers, of course, that are growing fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, whatever the case is. And they had some type of program or business, business entity formed that served local children. Do we not want our children to eat freshly produced products sent directly to them? I don't even know what kids are eating in schools nowadays, man. But growing up, you only had a select few items of school that were somewhat decent that I can remember. Of course, it's been some time since I had cafeteria school food. But why are we ending this program? The article goes on to read, the cuts will hurt school districts with chronically underfunded. Okay. So the cuts will hurt schools districts with chronically underfunded school meal budgets, said Shannon Gleave, president of the school, blah, 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 blah. In addition to losing the benefits for our kids, this loss of funds is a huge blow to the community farmers and ranchers and is detrimental to school meal programs struggling to manage rising food and labor costs. The USDA said the programs are a legacy of the pandemic and no longer supported the agency's priorities. It no longer supports the agency's priorities. It's no longer of interest to us, folks, to see to it that our children eat healthy food. It's not a priority. We did you guys that favor during the pandemic. Be grateful. It's costing us too much money, is how I interpret this. The article goes on to say the COVID era is over. USDA's approach to the nutrition programs will reflect that reality moving forward. Massachusetts received roughly $12 million in federal funding for school districts and childcare programs to buy food from local producers. I don't understand. It's a win-win. Children are eating good, healthy food. Farmers are getting their pay, which again we've been hearing stories about local farmers, of course, as well too, as of late. How they're farmers are getting calling strikes because these corporations are trying to. Well, one, I've been hearing Bill Gates has been buying up all the farmland. That's a whole nother story as well, too. He's another one you got to watch out for. Bill Gates, have y'all been hearing that? I've been hearing that for some time now, that Bill Gates has been buying up all the farmland. And he's a advocate for fake food, or organic meat, or whatever, Beyond Meat, whatever he was invested in. But I've been hearing a lot of stories, of course, of Bill Gates wanting to be the one that's buying up all the farmland and how he owns a large percentage of American real estate and farmland. So, again, if the children are our future, right? Are the children the future or not? Do we want our children to be eating processed foods? Ultra processed foods? I don't understand, because it no longer aligns with the policies and the programs that you guys came up with. This was only a pandemic thing. Yeah, okay, I understand it's a rather large budget, but look what else we're spending our money on in this country. Let's not talk about, I'm not going to act as if I know all the numbers, but I've been hearing large amounts of money that's being used for this and sent for that. But when it comes to the health of the leaders of tomorrow, Nah, man. They said we're far removed from the pandemic. We don't need to be doing that anymore. Interesting. I don't know, man. I usually question the intent of a lot of things, and a lot of it is usually stems down from money. Money is usually the reason why things are a go or they're not a go. The COVID era is over, they said, and the programs will reflect that reality. Yikes. School nutrition directors are bracing for potential rollbacks to programs that expanded funding for school meals, which for some children can be their only reliable source of food. That is very true, man. How many children, of course, here in America, depend on that breakfast and lunch at school wholeheartedly because maybe they come from a, underprivileged community or background or neighborhood, whatever the case is. Maybe they don't get, solid meals at home, whatever the case is. So some children, of course, I know that was a thing as well too. They look forward to breakfast at school. They look forward to lunch at school because maybe they're not getting that sufficient, those sufficient meals at home. So I'm confused, man. It's just like I've been saying this for some time, man. We're looked at as pawns to these people. We're disposable. The children are disposable. The men, the women are disposable. If it doesn't align with their agenda, you're out of there. And then they'll say there's not enough money for it. But then when you ask and look a little bit deeper as to where they put in their money, you see money going here, it's going there. That's why people start feeling a certain way about this country because they feel like America's needs are set on the back burner and we put money elsewhere in other business entities or directions in other countries, whatever the case is, without merit. But that's just my take, man. Very interesting. Of course, that article came from the Associated Press. Again, speaking about the programs, the USDA ending programs that helped serve children healthy food from local farmers. So now the children are not eating healthy anymore. Back to processed foods they go. Local farmers, that's a stream, government funding that they lose out on as if they weren't struggling enough already. That's something that they lose out on because we're no longer in a COVID era. Program's done. So no alternatives. I didn't see anywhere in this article about an alternative. It's just, hey, sorry, we're not doing that anymore. Keep it pushing. Interesting. Nonetheless, those are my thoughts. Of course, I always want to hear yours down in the comment section below. Let's get into another story, man.